Hello, 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 hello. So yes, we are back with the last iteration or the last interpretation, not interpretation, the last iteration. I said it correct the first time of the movie review for the Scream franchise. We are now doing the movie review for Scream 6. A lot of the same characters, some new characters, but we're gonna get to it. Some new features, some new stuff, but like I said, let's get into it. First thing first, we're going to talk about the key characters: Tara Carpenter, Samantha Carpenter, Billy Loomis, who was not really Billy Loomis, it's more so just like his his uh hallucination, not hallucination, but it's more so it's Samantha's hallucination of seeing her father. Gail Weathers, her boyfriend Brooks, felt the need to bring him up because of the fact he only has like 30 seconds of screen time play for real, and then he's killed off, but also because he's black, so gotta show him. Kirby Reed makes an appearance. She is now a detective. Ethan Landry, Chad Meeks Martin, Mindy Meeks Martin, Detective Bailey, Quinn Bailey, Danny Brackett, Jason Carvey, Greg Buckner, and Laura Crane. Um, and so let's go ahead and get into it. Um, Laura Crane was Laura Crane was actually the university professor. This is the first key point. The university professor who got killed in the alleyway. Honestly, this was like a blonde hair moment. That's what they usually call it. It's like a blonde hair, blue eyed moment because it's like he's the Ghostface killer, who is Jason Carvey at the time. Jason is calling her and setting up for this date, but she's like, "There's an alleyway over here," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm on the other side of that alley and whatnot." She's looking down. Camera shows her view. She looks completely down the alley. There's nobody there. Why would you still continue to move forward? Like that would have been done for me. That would have been it. Like that would have been it. But she ends up getting killed. And then when he gets back to his apartment, his buddy, his roommate, Bruckner, who's also a director in real life, um, they were actually going to. He was telling Greg, he was like, "Man, I had to." He was like, I had to get a taste. I had to see what it was like. Pretty much, getting practice for the serial killer thing, because they were actually about to start, and that's my second key point. They were about to start up the serial killers, and they were going to go after Tara and Samantha Carpenter. They actually, when Detective Bailey, the father of Quinn Bailey, when Detective Bailey gets to the scene where Jason Carvey and Greg Bruckner are dead, when he gets there, he asks Sam to come in to talk because her ID was at their location. So they were planning on going after, but the real original killer, the real Ghostface killer, came in and pretty much just essentially beat them to the punch. I mean, if that's the way that you can put it, like he pretty much just got to them before they got to the other people. But black and white. Third key point is Sam went to a therapist, especially after after Scream 5. She went to the therapist, and she actually ended up telling the therapist that the biggest problem with with what happened is that she actually enjoyed it. She actually liked it, kind of hinting at like maybe the apple didn't fall too far from the tree, and that maybe you are just as crazy as your father. Richie Kurt's phone. That is a fourth key point. This is something that, even after I watched the movie, I was just wondering, I'm like, so that means his phone service is still on. That means somebody's paying his bill. Who would have had this information? Then it's like, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to get to the spoilers until we get to the double digits. But we're still in the singular. Kirby Reed, key point number 5. Kirby Reed making a reappearance. That honestly, it raised two flags to me. It was a green flag, cause like, yay, she came back, and then not only that, she came back, but she wasn't dead. So that was cool. But at the same time, it's like, still, you know what I mean, still, it's a matter of suspicion, just a matter in a mystery, in mystery type movies, you can't help but be suspicious about some of every character. So the fact that she made a reappearance is like, I'm watching you. The leaving of the ghost face mask around after every kill or around the scenes, I personally didn't understand the relevance between the stab movies, the stab movies, the actual murders that were happening outside of the movies. And I honestly didn't get it, but that was a key point that definitely needed to be talked about, because you had essentially um, Richie Kirsch and I don't want to. We're not gonna get into that. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But key point number 7 is Danny. What's his name? Danny Brackett is the love interest of Samantha Carpenter, and the way that their apartment complexes is, it's almost like an H, like blip, blip. You know what I'm saying? So they're on like this side of it. You know what I'm saying? So he's like over here, she's like over there. So he can look at her, into her house. Like if she has the windows open and whatnot from his apartment, he can look straight, see her apartment. And in that moment when he saw Quinn Bailey, um, yeah, Quinn Bailey, she was being attacked. So he's trying to alert Samantha, and at this time, this is when Samantha has let the whole table know that she is now, well, she said fucking the neighbor and whatnot, but I was just gonna put like seeing the neighbor and shit. But she is now being intimate with the neighbor and share that information. Then ironically, when he saw that, he tried to call her, but the little sister Tara grabbed the phone, was like, hello, da, da, da. She didn't answer it, but she grabbed the phone. And when she handed it back to Sam was just like, I'll just ignore it and whatnot, it's probably nothing and whatnot. But then he sends a text message and he's letting her know, so on and so forth. And that's when the realization starts to kick in, and that's when it honestly, it gets intense, because there's a scene where um, he extends a ladder, he just has a ladder in his house. He extends a ladder from his apartment to her apartment, and it's trying to get Sam, Tara, Mindy. He's trying to get them to go ahead and crawl across said ladder and get to a safer location and whatnot. But Mindy's love interest, her girl, because Mindy is a lesbian. Mindy's girl ends up like more so scared than anything. So then when she is going across the bridge, when she's going across the ladder, Ghostface is there on the other end. He appears and he's just shaking it. He's just trying to go ahead and get it disruptive, and which leads to her death, because she ends up falling. And I don't think the fall would have killed her immediately, but it's the fact that before she like completely like fell, she hit her head on the edge of like the trash can. There's like a green dumpster out on the side and whatnot, and she boom boom. So that was that situation. Number 8 needed to be talked about, because you have literally, I love the background scenes. It reminds me of almost like some Family Guy stuff, where there's like stuff happening in the background during a serious conversation and shit like that, or more so like Ted. But it kind of more so put me in the mindset of what was going on. And the fact that Gail had, once again, this is the 6th time somebody has taken an interest on trying to take your life. And so in this 6th iteration, she is literally, like, while she's talking on the phone to the Ghostface killer, you see the boyfriend Brooks. He's around in the background, but you see him get snatched up, and then next time that you see him, he's getting thrown through something. So the fact that Gail had a safe box for her weapon, me personally, it wouldn't have been that far away. I would have had my safe box a little bit closer, but here nor there. She ran around, she's getting to stuff, she gets to her safe box, and in a moment she's like shooting around in the house. she's like shooting around in the house and whatnot, and I don't really remember how that ends. Actually, I do. I just don't want to tell you. Y'all watch the movie, shit. But essentially, key point 8 is Gale's fight. I will never stop speaking about. I will never stop speaking about that because between her and Sydney, them motherfuckers fight when it comes down to saving their life. Number 9, Mindy gets stabbed on the train, and mind you, this was a very, I don't want to say dope because it was somebody that got stabbed, but it was such an interesting scene because around this time people are celebrating. Once again, they're celebrating the Ghostface Killer stuff, or the just more so the Stab franchise. So you have a lot of people that are, when they're taking the train to go to this other location, when they're trying to take the train to go to this other location, there's so many people dressed up in Halloween costumes or just in general the Ghostface Killer costume. So when you have Sam, Tara, Chad, and Danny, they're in one train, and they get separated from Ethan and Mindy. They get separated, but in that process and whatnot, you have them, and Sam locks eyes with, well, she thinks she locks eyes with a Ghostface Killer, well, with the Ghostface Killer, but it's just somebody just dressed up as that, so they're safe. But just that scene, the subway, the subway going dark at times, and then the reappearance, it was very intense. And then honestly, it makes you think, okay, bet, no, that couldn't have worked, because I was about to say, what if one of the Ghostface Killer that was one of the Ghostface Killers? But it couldn't have worked. That wouldn't have worked because when you had Ethan and Mindy that finally got on a train to go to the same location that Samantha, Tara, Danny, and Chad are going, already when they're waiting at the subway, Mindy looks at Ethan and says multiple times, like, "Get away from me, Ghostface Killer, like, get away from me," and whatnot. She was right. But for the most part, she's just bringing that up. And even in the beginning, like when they're trying to figure out, when they're trying to figure out who possibly could be the killer, she already brings it up from the beginning, from the jump. She already brings up how she doesn't trust Ethan, and how he could have picked some lottery name or something and whatnot to try to get in there, to try to get in the same room, or try to have the same room as Chad. So, but while they're on the train, once again, Mindy is being suspicious as well, rightfully so. You have somebody that's trying to kill you. Mindy's being suspicious. She's looking at the people that are on the train, and somebody ends up coming up, and they do end up stabbing her. But in that process, the whole reason why I brought up Ethan is because Ethan was looking at her. He was trying to, honestly, it makes you think that it wasn't Ethan, because Ethan was like keeping an eye on her, and that's why I was trying to think. I was like, okay, bet maybe if that person that was staring and making eye contact or looking back at Samantha, maybe that was one of the killers, because there is a total of 3 killers, but one person, I don't think they ever donned the actual outfit of the Ghostface Killers. I think it's only 2 people that actually don it out of the 3, and that is the first time, and that is a key point that I just jumped ahead of because that was my number 12. But there is a 3rd culprit. Yep, and number 10 was Mindy was right about Ethan. Number 11 is Chad Meeks Martin gets Mortal Kombat stabbed. And honestly, I want to laugh because it's kind of fucked up, but it's kind of fucked up. It's like in a moment where him and Tara get to share a kiss. Already you're surprised that he survived from the first movie, but I mean, I guess that's how you feel about with anybody. But the fact that he actually did survive, but I mean, for the most part, that's another like moment. Like the fact that he they shared a kiss, and then somehow, and then something happened. I don't know where the Ghostface Killer came from. I don't remember, but all in all, Chad was trying to fight them off and stuff like that, but they get the best of him, and they are like they got him down. Well, no, he gets like one of the Ghostface killers down, but then the other one shows up. Another Ghostface killer shows up, and then like they like stabbing him. Like it looks like a Mortal Kombat finisher. Like the way that they stab him up, it looks like a Mortal Kombat finisher. And then honestly, didn't think that he would have survived that, but spoiler, he does. I told you I was gonna start giving spoilers out. Oh, mind you, spoilers. So Detective Bailey is Quinn Bailey's father. Makes sense. Makes sense. But Ethan Landry, even with the last name, that is his son as well. And guess what? He has one other son. You remember how I said something about Richie Kirsch's phone and somebody has to be paying that bill? So come to find out that Richie Kirsch is Detective Bailey's son, and that he was so obsessed about the Woodsboro murders and just in general the whole just fascination about that he actually made like a monument, like a dedication for that stuff. I know there's a term for it, but I can't think of the word. Made like a dedication for it in the museum or in an abandoned theater. Like you have from the first killer, the second kill, the first killers, Billy Loomis and Stu Macher. You have the second killers, Nancy Loomis, Mickey Altieri. Third killer, you have Roman Bridger. Fourth killer, you have, hold on, who was the fourth killer? The cousin and the Culkin brother. Fifth, you know what I mean? Like he's been tracking all of that. I was about to say fifth movie, but he died in the fifth movie. But he's been tracking all of that. So it's just honestly, it's just the obsession with it, and it's ridiculous, honestly. But spoiler. But back to that. Oh, and then 13. So it really wasn't really like just a random spoiler, because it actually was something that I actually, if you can look through my you look at my reflection, you can see I have it right here. And honestly, so you know I'm not bullshitting. Boom, this is all my shit. So it's all up here. But 14 and 15. 14 and 15 need to be talked about, because I feel like that was something that was purposely done, and it's gonna lead to an eye squint moment, because you have 14 where, of course, where the inevitable, the roles reverse, where Sam ends up getting the upper hand. She grabs the knife, she grabs the attire from her father's attire from the first murder, from the Woodsboro murder, and she's over there doing the voice thing. She's like, what's your favorite scary movie? She's doing that to Detective Bailey. And the fact that you can tell she's enjoying that. And then even, because she gets the kill on Detective Bailey, but then 15 comes in. 15 comes in, and that is Sam staring at the mask before discarding it. The fact that I honestly, I ain't gonna lie, with how movies work, I thought she had took the knife, but she had took the the Ghostface killer mask, the original one, her father's from Scream 1. She had took that, and it's just like, and then you hear Tara call out to her, then all of a sudden she drops it and walks toward Tara. But it's like a moment like. And then also another big thing to speak about, I didn't write that in here, but another big, kind of bonus point is the fact that between Scream 5, Tara, and Samantha, already their bond wasn't all that close before, but then the fact that they did start getting closer, they started getting cooler, and then after literally, them literally possibly losing their lives in Scream 5. So now in Scream 6, the biggest thing, what they're trying to the propaganda, what they're trying to put out there is just more so that Tara is looking for a little bit of myself. Like, she doesn't want this to be something that hovers over her head, nor does she want her sister to constantly be on her back. So there's a scene where Samantha is holding Tara, and you have Ethan that is below Tara, trying to stab at her legs and whatnot, essentially trying to get her down so he can stab her. And then you have Quinn, who's coming from another door over here. She's coming from like another direction, and you have Tara that is looking up at Samantha. And it's like, let go, and that is a double entendre. It is more than just let me go because I got a plan and I got this. It's let me go. It's let me go. I got this. Like I can do this. I can do this on my own and whatnot. I can do this. So it's just that was just literally a moment. That was literally a moment and whatnot. Um, Honestly, I would give the movie. I'm a fan of the franchise. I'm a fan of the franchise, so I would give the movie a 10 out of 10. I'll give the movie another 10 out of 10. But you know that could be me being biased. Honestly, I feel like a big part of the reason why I enjoy these movies is just because more so I enjoy mysteries. I enjoy mystery movies, novels, games. I love mysteries. So I could care less for the jump scares. I could care less for the killings. Even if it was just some Scooby Doo shit. Matter of fact, that's probably where it stems from. But honestly, I genuinely love these movies. So it's like I'm awaiting Scream 7. And I'm wondering who all's gonna be in it. You know what I mean? Like who all's gonna be in it, who all survived, and so on and so forth. But once again, love, peace, and chicken grease. I thank y'all for sticking around for however much that you did watch, or if you stuck with me to the end. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Doggone. Since Scream 7 doesn't come out until February 23rd, I think I'm trying to figure out what movies I'm gonna pick up next. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely am thinking about Fast and Furious because that's a multiple. It's a franchise itself, so I definitely was thinking about that, but I'm not sure between that. Maybe y'all can give me some ideas. Maybe a movie, and it doesn't have to be a movie that has a sequel. I mean, it could just be just in general any movie that you want me to check out, any movie you want me to do a review on. Hey, that's the whole purpose of this, is so that we can we can communicate and help each other. You know what I'm saying? But love, peace, chicken grease. Y'all stay cool. Y'all stay groovy. And doggone, we'll be back tomorrow with something.